intuitive reader. I am doing a little live pop-up because I want to try to get back into doing this. I've been gone for a while doing the lives, so let's see what we get. If no one shows up, I'm just going to do a collective reading, and that's great. It's a good practice for me. Okay, let's get to it. So I've been getting a lot of that. There's kind of some kind of disturbance in the force. Here where I live in California, we've had a lot of cluster earthquakes, and there's been a lot going on politically, a lot of agitation with people. So let's see what we get for the collective. The Ten of Cups. So yeah, this kind of goes along with, you know, a lot of us in the US here just had Thanksgiving, and that stirred up a lot of stuff that was going on for people. You might have thought you were fine, you were doing great, you know, things were moving smoothly, and then, you know, you get together with a whole bunch of people you haven't seen in a while, and everybody comes out of the woodwork. They all have their own opinions, they all have their own needs, wants, and desires, and meanwhile you're like, oh, wow, I have some things to work on that I have not realized I need to. So let's see what else. The Hanged Man. So yes, so yeah, it kind of made you feel like you were kind of trapped. I mean, when you're getting together with people that you haven't seen in a while or that you wouldn't normally hang out with, it can trigger a lot of issues. I think this has to do with our diet too, in general, and you know, things that get in the way of us being in having equilibrium. Hi, hi, goddess. Um, and at the bottom of the deck here is the Three of Cups, and this is about socializing. So maybe we wouldn't hang out with all the people we're related to or that we have in family dynamics in a normal situation, but we're doing that because we think we should. And so that can get in this place of what's for your best and highest good and what's for, you know, like what you should do. So I don't think that's necessarily the way that you're going to get out of this feeling of being kind of strung up. Maybe all this interaction with people you haven't seen before, like in a long time, is getting in the way of you feeling right. So let's see. I've never done this before, and this is kind of fun, doing a collective reading, seeing what comes up for you guys while I'm live. Okay. Let's see, the moon. Yeah. Okay, so, oh, and then here is the Ten of Pentacles. So some things definitely are coming to light. You met up with a whole bunch of people, and even if you didn't, they're still in your energy. And this is kind of getting in the way of you feeling right. It's shining a light on things that you haven't examined in a while. And like I was talking about, I'm getting a lot about food, sharing together. And what I find interesting is in these two cards, you've got the Ten of Cups and the Ten of Pentacles. You should be feeling great, but there's something that's holding stuff up. And so I'm going to get a little clarity on what that could be. Let's get some clarity on the Moon card. Let's get some clarity on your Moon card. Three of Pentacles. So you got Three of Cups and Three of Pentacles, 33. That's been coming up a lot for the collective. Okay, so here is the flower of life, the lotus flower. And the interesting thing about it is the flower of life grows in mud. So underneath here, the roots go down to the muddy bottom of a pond, and then it creates this gorgeous flower. So you could be intaking or coming from a place that feels very clouded and muddy, and you're not sure why you're feeling that. It's coming up because you're working on something really big right now, and whatever's in your current energy and environment is getting in the way of that. So what can you do? So maybe finding people that resonate with you more, like If you have to do the showing up for holidays and stuff and you can't get out of that, that's one thing. But make sure that you're piggybacking and surrounding, like bookending that with people that they help you feel good about yourself. Okay, let's see what else you get. I hope everybody's doing great. Like I said, I'm doing this live because I need to get back in the swing of things. And yeah, like, so this is saying, like, you know, go do what you have to do. But as soon as you're not there, don't take that energy with you. Don't take that muddy river bottom with you. Like, pull it through, you know, use your techniques, use everything you can, use your meditation, use anything that you know about being in balance. I do a lot of things about being in nature and stuff like that because that helps me feel better after I'm in these situations that made me feel maybe a little toxic. Okay, let's see what else you're getting. Nothing wants to come out of these cards, so let's get some new cards for you. Okay. What does the collective need to know right now? The Ten of Swords and Justice. Okay, so I like this because, see, with the Hanged Man, I was getting that you were kind of tied up in knots and you were kind of stuck in this net, this web. And you may be feeling like that, like all the stuff that's going on in your life. Maybe you can't move. Maybe you can't leave a family relationship. Maybe you cannot do and be the person you want to be. So the universe is giving you the 10 of Swords. This may be painful, but you've got to kind of cut yourself out, cut yourself free of any entanglements that are not for your best and highest good, because 2026 is going to be here before you know it. And then when it is here, if you're still enmeshed in enmeshment, if you're still enmeshed with people that are not, like if they're criticizing you and it's not valid criticism, it's not like constructive, then they are actually doing harm to you. So you need to kind of cut yourself free of this. And I think, you know, every time that this happens, you have this internal, scale with justice here, this internal scale to cut yourself free from this. Like these swords, in this this sword that they use to like harvest is here, and it's cutting through the bowl. Like if the relationships you're in are not for your best and highest good, then they need to be gone. I mean, it's really bad. I can feel the heaviness. Like there's all this incredible energy, all this incredible prosperity coming to you. There's plenty of fish in the sea. And instead of enjoying it, instead of being a part of your world that is going to make you happier, you're getting, you know, tied up in family drama and relationship drama and things about your health. Maybe you're doing things and being around substances and food and stuff that is not for your best and highest good. I'm not doing I'm not doing mini readings today. I'm just trying to get back in the swing of things, but I will be back on to do those soon. This is just a collective reading. So in here with the Queen of Pentacles, yeah. So you're going to have a celebration and things are going to grow like these lotus flowers, but it has to be from a place where you're having the right people around you and you're being in touch with who you are. You know, I personally haven't been on very much, and I've kind of missed that. This is part of my my spiritual practice, is connecting with you guys. So let's see. Let's clarify the Queen of Pentacles. This could also signify an earth sign or a matriarchal woman. This could signify you, but it can also just be the feeling of bringing something new to the world, to life. Okay, let's see. the Chariot, and I've gotten that so much. This is about moving very fast. And the Seven of Pentacles. The Seven of Pentacles is kind of like busy work though. So you may be getting a lot done, but there's so much busy work. There's so much like stuff. You're in knots. Like you may be manifesting this physically, like your stomach may be bothering you. You may be feeling just not like yourself. And this is because you're doing a lot of things and they're getting done. And you may be accomplishing a lot, but you need to focus back on making sure that you're in balance, making sure that you're having fun. There is so much celebration in your cards, but I don't see, you feeling able to be relaxed and happy in that situation. Let's see what else we get. That is too many cards. Okay, let's get a little clarity with the Chakra Guidance Oracle. Yes. Okay, like I said, this Hanged Man you need to change your perspective. You need to get loose of this because it's causing confusion and it's making you like despondent. It's like dissipating your energy. Instead of creating, like the Chariot is talking about, you're kind of in the slump period. And, you may be avoiding or procrastinating because you're like, kind of like, what's the point? I'm just going around and around in circles, getting things done that aren't really making me happy. And the universe is like, well, okay, wait, this is under your control. And if you change the way you're handling things, you're gonna come out of this. Yeah, I'm trying to get another deck. Sorry, it's kind of stuck over here. Okay. And the High Priestess was on the bottom, so that's really good. Like I said, these are really great cards. You are showing up as this really, lots of celebration. But it's kind of under wraps, which is weird. It's like you're showing up with all this prosperity and abundance and emotional connection and happily ever after. But then also the Moon is showing up and the Hanged Man and confusion. So you're having to really keep the end goal in sight at all times, because right now it feels like there's no hope. Let's see. Okay. Death. Okay. And death doesn't mean someone's going to die, but maybe, it could mean the ending to something pretty major in your life. With the 10 of Swords here, that's a pretty major ending. And like I was saying, you have to put everything that's not working for you kind of to the side. And if you can't get out of something, then, do some repair work. Take care of the Chariot. If the Chariot is your body, you will be getting some kind of justice, but it's going to take time. If you're just constantly waiting for the justice, I find this, so you got the 7, which is the Chariot, and then the 8, which is justice. So this is coming in very quickly, but it's going to be because you have decided that you're not holding on to old things anymore. You're moving forward, and that's when the universe brings in the karma. And then you'll kind of laugh and you'll go, oh, wow, I wasted all this time on situations that I wanted them to get, retribution, or I wanted them to get karma. And the universe was working all along. It needed you to let go. It needed you to let things go in the direction they're supposed to go to, instead of deciding that you are the judgment card, that you are the one that's going to bring justice. The universe will bring justice, but you have to be doing your own life and not be focused on bringing justice to other people. Okay, let's see what else you got. Change. Exactly. So you have to be willing to change the way you're doing things. I get you've done a lot of work, but it needs to be a full change in looking at each of the things you're doing in life. Hi. Each of the things you're doing in life and each of the decisions you're making, and looking at them, is this working for you now? Because whatever you set in motion right now, because we're in a retrograde, is going to get moving very quickly when those constraints, those oppositions astrologically are removed. So that when we move into 2026, which is coming very quickly, we're going to have a movement that changes the course of your life. But if you're still kind of stuck, you won't be able to engage in it, because it's kind of like riding the apple cart, writing, like making it stable, with the chariot here. You have to make sure that everything is in alignment, that everything in your life is ready for your new experience, because 2026 is a complete ending to everything. This year, 2025, was added up to 9. Next year adds up to 10, which is the first, the beginning of the new cycle. It's the ending and the beginning. Everything you've done, everything you've been doing is leading you up to this point. And see, they have the same blade in this. And I was talking about that, cutting the cords, cutting the entanglement, cutting anything that is not going to bring you into alignment in 2026. And there's a lot to do. It's exciting. Yeah, and here, I actually am glad this came out. The 3 of Swords. This is sorrow. Because you, in order to cut yourself free from these binds, a lot of them are embedded in you. They're enmeshment wounds. They're entanglements that you can't just like rip out. You have to untangle them. You have to, cut away anything that didn't work and then heal from those wounds. Because if you pull them along, it's going to be like you pulling the chariot versus you being on the chariot and moving straight into 2026. So make sure that you are dealing with any heartbreak that has been going on. This can be as far back as your childhood. This can be a past relationship. This can be friendships. This can be a work environment. It can be within yourself. But when you deal with that, when you kind of like perform surgery on yourself emotionally, where you're going and doing that internal family systems work, where you're going into the spots, the painful spots that we don't want to look at, and excavating and cleaning them out and then stitching them back together and healing, that's when you're going to move into a smooth sailing, because you did have that. And I definitely see that. So, and it's winter here, so that to me signifies that you're going to be moving very quickly, and you don't want to be snagged on past situations that aren't working for you anymore. Okay. The Hanged, oh my gosh, I cannot believe it. You got the Hanged Man and the 10 of Pentacles and the Strength card in this deck. So this is very interesting. Like, see, now in this card, he's in a different position, but his life is being seen in a different way. And this is bringing the 10 of Pentacles. So you got 2 10 of Pentacles. This is an incredible amount of health, wealth, and prosperity coming in. It's, legacy. What decisions you make at this point in 2025, at the end of 2025, and if you're seeing this at a different time, make it fit then. It's going to bring you into alignment. And you have the strength to do this. Like, when you decide to go for something, you're like a sure shot. You hit the bullseye. So this is really incredible. I mean, you guys have done so much work, and I'm really happy that I ended up doing this live collective reading, because when you hit the mark, when the sun comes out, when all these oppositions and painful past experiences are excavated and taken care of, and you're healed, you're going to move so into this beautiful energy. And this is so funny to end this reading, is because I was talking about the flower of life. And here it is. Life is going to it's going to be overflowing. It's going to be incredible. Your life is going to change in ways that you can't even imagine. Maybe you haven't felt this what you're going to feel like is a way thinking back to a time when you just everything went well. Everything was smooth sailing. You didn't feel weighted down by all the trials and tribulations and baggage that you had been carrying from other people's wounds. They got on with their life. They went on with their life, and you're still holding on to that. So love is definitely going to come through. And with the flower of life here, this is really about getting your life in balance, and you're going to have incredible success. I'm just loving this, and I love you guys, and I really thank you for joining me. I'll see you guys soon, and I'll be doing mini readings live very soon. So please join me. I am Claire, your intuitive reader, and I love you guys so much. Bye. Mwah. Bye. I do not know how to turn this off.